Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on when you're watching this. And welcome to another episode of On the Road with Luando. Today, we are diving into a captivating destination that's a must-see in Cape Town. The Two Oceans Aquarium. Whether you're 16 or 45, this place will definitely leave you in awe. So, obviously, just before you enter the aquarium, first things first, you might want to know how much does it cost. Here's a screen grab for you, so you can get to look and see basically how much you want to pay. But anyway, moving along. So, you're going to go to the turnstile, they scan your ticket. So if you come early, actually, one thing that actually the aquarium does is that you will get this UV stamp, which could be on your arm or wherever. And basically it means you can come out and then you can come back in. And if you'd like to, there is a green screen right there in front of you where you can take pictures with your family, and you get them right at the end. And then as you see now, as we're moving along, you get to the best part, the souvenir store, basically just to tell people that, yeah, I was here. When I came to Cape Town, I was, yeah. Imagine stepping into the world beneath the waves. That's exactly what the V&A Aquarium offers. With its cutting-edge exhibits and mesmerizing marine life, it's a journey that appeals to everyone. From vibrant coral reefs to mysterious deep-sea creatures, the diversity of the species will leave you amazed. Now you might be thinking, isn't this just a bunch of fish tanks? Well, you're in for a surprise. The Two Oceans Aquarium isn't just about looking at fish. It's a place of education and discovery. Interactive displays engage visitors of all ages, making learning about marine ecosystems exciting and accessible. Look, I found Dory. There she is. So, one thing that you'll also notice is that now as we move along in, basically the museum, the lighting starts to get darker and darker and darker, basically, which is mimic the marine life when you're basically in the ocean, is that the deeper you go, the darker it goes. And basically this is where then we're going to start exploring and actually, viewing all the animals that live in the deep, dark ocean. And right here you can see some of the big problems that the ocean actually we're dealing with those crates where they're fishing for lobsters, but they catch more than the lobsters. And you can see actually where some of South Africa's protected marine life is situated all over the country. Because again, as we're saying, yeah, you're here to view the animals, but also it's a learning opportunity for you. And now we go to the most fun one, coolest one. The jellyfish area. As you can see, everything here is kept dark, especially for the environment. And then you have these peeping holes where basically you can look through. So they've kept literally as what you call the lighting, the water temperature, etc., as close to the natural habitat as possible. So you can see all these tiny, those are all jellyfishes actually that you can see. And then you'll see like many different types of jellyfish as you walk around. So one thing actually about jellyfish, they're so cool because all you see, like you can literally see through them, and you wonder, how do these animals, for example, how do they survive? Do they have a brain or do they have eyes? But yeah, they are alive, and you can see those tentacles, and you definitely do not want any of those tentacles to touch you because it will be painful and deadly. And as you can see, walking along, you see many different kinds of jellyfishes, all the way, well, for me, the only one that I know is the boxfish jellyfish. That's a mouthful, boxfish. Oh, no, it's actually not boxfish. It's box jellyfish. Correcting myself. Yeah, as you can see, there's many different kinds of tanks around, and you can view them. There were though some people, and please, we encourage you, please do not use flash photography when you're walking around here, because that's why it's kept in the dark. And moving along, actually, we get to the first viewing area with a massive tank. So here, this is also where, if you're lucky, here you'll also see some divers. They're doing some diving exhibits. but not in this particular tank, but you'll get to see that one later on. So here you get to see like all the other marine life, and I was actually, one thing actually that you don't realize is how massive these animals look. Like for an example, if you look at the turtle next to the baby, it's massive, and here's the stingray, which also didn't realize how big these animals can be. And then yeah, there you see the Mr. Turtle coming to say hello. Hello, Mr. Turtle. Hello, Del Wonder. How are you doing? Welcome to the Two Oceans Aquarium. Anyway, gotta go. Bye-bye. Bye, Mr. Turtle. So, this literally feels like I'm underwater without being underwater. And you get to see like all the fish species. Like the way sometimes you underestimate how massive these animals look. So this is almost like a whole 360 thing because you're just underneath the tank. And this is literally the size of this fish. And there's a stingray.
Is the silver shark in the canal? The silver shark in the canal?
Really is called the silver shark.
Like how cool can this be? You know, I've never really been big when it comes to marine life, but when you get to see it nice and close, I think this is the purpose of these things. Even though, unfortunately though, there are some animals that they cannot keep in aquariums anymore. You know, after the whole, I think it was the movie Free Willy actually that started that thing where they can't keep whales, great white shark, like literally I think all the animals usually that are mostly what you call
Dus wij aflevering
English has escaped me.
jullie.
That are protected basically. Or that need to go in the oceans.
East komt, die staat uit.
That's the nice thing about it. So a nice turtle, something on its back. How massive this fish is. Right here. It's a place to escape, recharge, and take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the underwater world. Did you know that by visiting the Two Oceans Aquarium, you're also contributing to important conservation efforts? The aquarium is dedicated to raising awareness about marine conservation and protecting our oceans. So, your visit isn't just about having a good time, it's about making a positive impact.
So 1 milligram equals about 300,000. We'll hatch about 5 milligrams a day. So they can get quite concentrated, especially because we hatch them over about a day using a special type of bleach, not your household cleaning bleach, but more industrial style bleach, which thins the eggs down, which makes it easier to hatch them. Trying to find ones.
Are these found in the ocean, like in every part?
Not naturally, no. So they actually are from Utah in the United States. They belong to an area called Salt Lake City. And originally the United States was underwater, it was part of the ocean. But over time, the mountains grew around that section of the ocean, sealing all that salt water in and creating what we now know as salt flats.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've ever seen people driving on those.
Yes.
So what happens, I'll be right with you. And what happens is that there, we actually scrape the eggs up. So we can literally peel this out of the sand.
Are those the eggs?
Correct.
Whoa.
So it looks a little bit like sand, a little bit like hot chocolate. And what we do is that we'll purchase these as dry eggs, as you see now, and we'll hatch them around 24 hours long. So as I said, we do speed up the process, but naturally it will take about a week to fully hatch. At which point they typically only live for about 2 weeks. And that's because they live in, as I said, Salt Lake City, it gets very little rain. So as soon as the rain hits, they immediately want to start growing. And the females themselves are actually hatched from their egg already filled with eggs that can be fertilized and laid. Because they have such a slow process of living. And I'm trying to find a piece of sand I put in here now. Just give you a sense of scale. Yeah, there you go. So that's a piece of sand there just for scale. So we have a vat of about 50 liters that we have filled with this in the morning. We'll distribute out however much we need per portion. So we'll get some sent to us here at the microscope, some will go directly to the young fish upstairs in quarantine, some goes to jellyfish, some just goes mixed to other tanks. So we'll mix this in with some rotifers, which are their main food source. Rotifers are in fact so small that can change the color of the water to cream soda. It will look like cream soda green. They are so small they will immediately change the color of any water there.
Okay, one thing actually that you've noticed is that most of these displays here, they will say do not touch. But here, this is where they say do touch, because anyway, it's about learning. As you can see here, children, adults alike, you're welcome actually to play, with the different types of seaweed that you can find. And then you can actually become, take out the archaeologist within you, where you can actually come, and discover some fossils which are out there. And this area actually seems to be very popular with the kids, as they get to dig and discover. Okay. Then the museum actually has different kinds of many different kinds of floors where you can actually visit. And when you go just a ramp up, you get to everyone's favorite, the penguin sanctuary. One thing actually, and again, that we actually do forget is that penguins actually have many different kinds of species. And we always think, oh, we only have like the African penguin species, but there's a whole lot of them. And it's actually nice here because it's also kept, again, as close as possible, to their outside natural habitat. Yeah, it's also fun. And then again, you're always encouraged as a visitor when you come here, please do not use flash photography. You can still take pictures and videos like I was doing, but please don't use flash photography. Thank you. Right over here, you have different species of penguins that you can find around. And one thing actually, which is so cool, if you actually look at those penguins by the window, they're actually having the best view of the V&A waterfront. This one just shaking it off. Yeah, not even many people can afford actually that kind of view, but the penguins can. And then when we move to the other side, actually, as you're walking along the area, you get to see all other different animals, where you actually get to see, the frogs and toads. By the way, are frogs and toads different, or toads are part of part of frogs? Please help me with that one. And then, yeah, as we leave the area, we go to the next second viewing area. So now here you actually get to see, like the sea forest, like all the which actually reminds me actually of the Oscar-winning documentary, which was actually shot here in Cape Town, called My Octopus Friend. Was that what's the name? Okay, I'll write it down actually if it's not right. But yeah, you get to see here all the school of fish actually interacting, basically moving around the seaweed forest. And then you get to see the big boys, the sharks. Like actually for perspective, you can look at the boy down there, and then also the size of the shark, and these things are massive. Like this one on here could be at least, I think when I was trying to estimate, it's about 2 to 2.5 meters in terms of length. And here you can actually see how massive these sharks can be, especially the great white. And then here they actually also quite giving you a perspective in terms of like size, that the great white shark literally is almost the same size, as a normal average vehicle, the poor Golf one. And then here, so here they showcase basically what the liver does, and you're actually allowed to interact, with this experiment that they've done here. And then actually it made me think a lot, because my favorite animals actually do hunt the great white sharks for their livers, and I'm still puzzled basically as to why is that. But yeah, it was actually quite interesting, to see more, basically where you get to learn more about sharks themselves. And then you get to this window, basically where sharks can really swim so close. Whew. And then one of my favorite shots actually of the day is right here. Look at that. And then they decide, hey, I'm gonna pass through. There we go. Beautiful tiger shark right there. I think so. I think that's the tiger shark. But anyway, we get to the second tunnel, underwater tunnel. Basically, yeah, this is where you also get to see now the sharks. So the other side was actually mostly animals, which are usually prey, and then here you get to see the big boys, the sharks, swimming around. So we on the shark conservation side. I think this is literally the only place where I'll ever feel safe having a shark like this. Scale. And here again, this is the second viewing area. Remember when on the first one I said, yeah, I'll show you like when it comes to divers. So here actually it looks like it was a training exercise, but I was like, this has got to be, here the what you call training under pressure. Literally. Training under pressure here as a diver, because there's literally sharks floating alongside you while you're trying to concentrate on being able to breathe normally and be stable. Yeah, but it was cool. I think for me, yeah, as I said, no, I'll never get close to sharks. I think the closest I'll get to sharks is actually through shark cage diving. So once we get past now that area, actually you go back to where basically we started, and here you can actually view the photos. If you've taken photos at the beginning, this is where you'll actually be able to make a purchase and buy your photos. You can actually even ask for more copies if there was more than like one of you or more, basically. Yeah, but anyway, back where we started. So yeah, this for me has been a very cool one, a very nice experience, because most of us don't learn much about marine life. Only when you're watching like a National Geographic on TV, only that you can see, but to see the animals way up close, like the sharks, the little tiger sharks, those things are massive. Like you don't realize the scale, even the fish and everything. But yeah, I just hope that actually that you had fun. That now when you come to Cape Town, the Cape Town Aquarium basically will also be in one of your number one on your list of places to visit. I would definitely recommend it. It's nice, so you can come here like with yourself or your entire family, and just enjoy a nice morning or afternoon, and you get to see like some very cool, nice marine life. And there's also a souvenir shop where you can buy something. So yeah, I just want to say it's been a good one, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. But before I go, I would like to leave you with a question, as usual, basically. So basically, what is your favorite marine animal and why? Mine is actually an orca, because it's just so beautiful. All the way from watching the movie Free Will and doing research about it, and the way they hunt, depending on where they are in the world, is just quite amazing to see how intelligent those animals are. So that's basically my favorite. But what is your favorite? I'd like to know. Yeah, but if you'd like to know more, basically about other places that I should go and check out for you, just give me a shout in the comment section. But anyway, I just want to say have a good morning and have a good afternoon and have a good evening. This is Rando on the road. See you on the next one.